Hey everybody, I'm back with another Ankh Guardian, and this time it's the Griffin. Man, did I have a hard time with this. Now, he's primed with leather brown, and so was the second one, but this one has a zenital highlighting of white. So I'm showing you right now what I did with the first one, because I didn't like the way he turned out at all. I had such a hard time figuring out what I want to do color-wise and all that. So I added some white primer on top of the brown just to give it like a zenital highlighting so it's not black underneath. But it still gives that same kind of effect where when you put contrast paints there will be some darker areas and some lighter. Now we're starting off with some Reclin Flesh Shade because I want to put this on the bottom part of its wings, the feathers and that, to give it more like an earthy tone to match the rest of the miniature. And then we're going to move on to a Scale75 Instant Color, and this is going to be for the top portion of those feathers, and this is Spectral Wolf. So it actually blends in really well into that Agrax Earth shade, so this is perfect. Alright, so we're going to move on to doing the rest of the body. We're going to use another Scale75 Instant Color, and this is Demon Brown. Now I forgot how reddish this brown is, but on the artwork, this guy is, you know, the top part is like darker brown and the bottom part is like a lighter brown. So what I do is I actually do just the top portion of its head, like the neck and the head, and then I come back after and do a second coat just to make it a little bit darker. Like I said, I really had a hard time with this miniature just to get that artwork, and I've seen some other people what they did, and it's just unbelievable how they did it. And I don't know, this one just really baffled me, and I was having a hard time with it. Alright, now we're going to do the snake tail or cobra tail, and we're going to use some Magos purple just as a base for this because it is a little light, but what I'm going to do afterwards is going to make it look more realistic as a snake. And then we're going to use another contrast color called Skeleton Horde, and this is to give this griffin a mani-pedi. Yep, for the nails on it. And after that we're going to move on to his tongue, where we're going to use Blood Angel's Red, just a very, very red color, beautiful for the tongue, makes it pop a little bit more. And then we're just going to do the contour of his mouth with some Gore-Grunta fur. This has a very orangey tone to it, and I found that around the beak it was like that, so I do finally the whole beak with it as well. I was hesitant on this because in the artwork it's like a bluish, purple, brown, orange mixture, and as you saw in the first picture, I tried to recreate that. So tough. Now I'm using a Game Ink by Valejo, some black ink that is, just for the eyes, just so that they're gonna like show up a little bit more. Now we're doing the feathers on the front of this miniature, and this is in Snakebite Leather. This is another contrast paint, so just so that they contrast against the rest of the miniature as well. Now we're doing the contour of the eyes with Apothecary White, just so that because Apothecary White also has that like gray hint to it, and I think it came out okay. As you can see now, I'm using some Agrax Earthshade now actually on the snake part of the miniature. Now we're just doing this little fur patch that was like lighter on the artwork, and we're going to do some dry brushing with some mummy robes, and we're going to put this all over the wings as well. So as you can see now, I'm blending in the top part with the lower part, but the lower part still being darker. Now we're doing the headdress feathers. We're going to start with some Aethermatic Blue, and this is just going to be for that center piece there as well. Later on, that cobra that's on top is going to be done in gold. And then we're going to be using some Volupus Pink just to do the rest of those feathers. Alright, now we're going to move on to the bling on this griffin, and we're going to be using some bright gold. Now, I don't know if it's watered down or what's going on with this gold lately, but even with a mixing ball or even two in it and shaking it like crazy in the shaker, it still came out like as if it was very liquid. Like it wasn't very thick at all. So I had to put it on thick just to get the gold coverage that I wanted on this miniature. So this is for some bracelets, the pendant, and the chains around his neck. Alright, now I was trying to mention, I was trying to get like the beat to have this like purple hue to it. Well, that's why I use a game ink called Violet from Valejo, and it didn't give it all what I wanted. Anyways, we'll let that dry. And now we're using a light tone wash on that front, and now we're dry brushing some Grimoire purple, and I think I even dry brushed some other kind of purple on top just so that it like brightens it out a little bit. And as I've done many of the other bases, I'm using Agaras Dunes to give it that sandy desert look. And you can tell I used some Battlefield rocks and some other dollar store and craft store mixture of rocks and sand just to create a little bit more texture to that base. A little gemstone red metallic there for this medallion in front, and then a little zephyr pink for underneath, and then a little glitter green just to add a little bit of decorum to those necklaces and to that wristband that he's wearing as well. Alright, so the Griffin is all painted and ready for the table. However, like I said, I wasn't too keen on this one. It was very tough. Let me know in the comments down below what you actually think. Hit that like button if you actually liked the video, and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And we'll catch you all in the next one.